Hi there, my name is Deborah Dietrich, and I am Director of Education and co-founder for BEAUTY.PRO. We want to welcome you to the Collective Series number 6. We bring these iconic interviews to you so that you can help sort out some of the different genres that are available to you once you graduate from school. We like to interview iconic makeup artists and industry greats. We do this so that it'll help you when you're choosing your career path, and maybe by chance today's interview will be very helpful for you because we're going to be talking about special effects. So, Stephan Dupuis, we want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming down here today. We live in the same city, but thank you so much for coming down here today. We really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
You are? Mm-hmm. Good. So before we get started, what I'd like to do is talk just a little bit about some of your accolades so that the students have an idea about things that you've done and who you are. So do you mind if I brag about you just a little bit?
Go ahead.
Stephan and I have actually worked together in many trailers over the years, so this is going to be a really fun interview. I'm going to be asking him questions that I don't even know the answers to. So, you've headed up many departments. That's primarily what you have done most of your life. Special effects artist for RoboCop, The Fly, and Eastern Promises. Outstanding prosthetics miniseries for Breaking Bad. Outstanding key makeup artist for The Regans, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Mm-hmm. Outstanding makeup for the Rudy Giuliani story, creating bald cap on James Woods, the whole 9 yards. Emmy nominations for Stalin and Lenin. Okay. Yeah. Dangerous Mind, History of Violence, Jason X, Man Without a Face, Stalin, Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, The Fly 2, Poltergeist 2. That would be creepy. I wouldn't want to see that movie. RoboCop, The Fly, Amityville 2, I actually saw that. That was great. Quest of Fire, Scanners, City of Fire. Trauma, we worked in the trailer together on Trauma. Yeah. We worked together on the Matrix franchises. Contagion, we worked together. You'd done things out at Lucasfilm's Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah. You have done a lot of special effects or character makeup for Viggo Mortensen. Mm-hmm. The Monkey King, I learned more about that earlier today. And the latest was The House with a Clock
in its
Wall. So thank you again for being here today with us. Let's get started, shall we?
Yep.
Okay. We'll talk more about some of these movies and different things that are involved in that as we go through the questions. But the one thing I always ask people in the beginning is, how old were you when you got interested in makeup? Like, you're not like a 12-year-old guy sitting around saying, oh, I think I want to be a Hollywood makeup artist. I mean, how did all that start? You're from Canada.
I'm from Montreal, Canada. And, okay. I can't remember. I was a kid. And what got me interested is, like, there was a 50-cent movie theater in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay. So we would gather up like 50 cents, and they had like 6 movies, monster movies, or whatever was left of them, kind of spliced together. Uh-huh. And we would go and spend like a Saturday afternoon watching Creature from the Black Lagoon, Godzilla Against Everybody, you name it, Earth versus the Flying Saucer, and then like the monster movies. I was wondering, how'd they do that, Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so at that time, when you were a young boy, you also had kind of drawing in your back. You've always been...
Always drew, since I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Did your parents encourage that?
Yeah,
they did.
That's pretty
amazing.
And keeping quiet, giving a bunch of paper.
Draw for us, right?
Yeah, a bunch of paper and crayons and so on, and there you go.
was your mother very disturbed because they were always images of monsters, or did you always draw monsters?
No, I didn't like stick to monsters. It was just anything and everything because I was a big Disney fan.
That's right, you are. We went to the Disney Museum together too.
Yeah.
You and I did. Yeah.
Big Disney fan, so I would be, drawing like 101 Dalmatian, you name it, Pinocchio, the whole get.
Okay. Have you always had that kind of sense of humor where it's just a little skewed? Like, I mean, because a lot of the things that I've seen you draw in trailers and when you make kind of, I'll say this, we've been in movie trailers before and there's a director that goes off on something. And so here Stephan is passing around a napkin with a cartoon of this character-like image in likeness of the director going off. I mean, and it's always been just a little kind of skewed sense of humor that's hilarious.
Well, you have to laugh at that kind of stuff sometimes. And, my motto is like, expect no mercy, I take no prisoners.
That's great. So, you were a kid. You used to watch movies. And then what was next? Then did you got out of high school? Then what did you do?
Well, what I did is I just started to experiment in my parents' basement with there was one makeup store in Montreal, Johnny Brown's. Okay, that was it. Sold like ballet slippers and leotards and Max Factor makeup.
Yeah.
So I would buy like a tube of Nose Buddy or Derma Wax and start experimenting with that. At first I did it on myself and I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it on my friends. So yeah, that was kind of like and I still have the first tube of grease paint that I ever bought from Johnny Brown. I framed it, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So then what led you to, did you do theater or anything like that? Or what led you into getting into films?
Well, it was the era where I was at, college and so on, and you would make film, and I just went to the film program, and I was doing makeup on my friends, classmates, movies and stuff, and my own. And then it got noticed, and there was this friend of mine who got to work on a real movie, City on Fire. It was one of those disaster movies like Towering Inferno and Earthquake. Anyway, so they needed an assistant makeup effects to do all the burn makeup, and there was this guy that they brought from New York to do it. So I became sort of like his assistant. That was my first job. So here I was with my little suitcase, my stuff, and going to work, and I was thrilled. And then at some point, he took off. He just said like, okay, kid, you're on your own. I'm like,
and that's how you got started.
Yeah, so I was in this trailer with 40 extras, burning them up, back and forth, back and forth. Of course, the producers were thrilled because I cost next to nothing. But anyway, that's where it started.
And you were in Montreal still?
Montreal.
And then how did you end up migrating to San Francisco?
Well, I worked on a movie called Scanners, and a guy named Chris Wallace, who did Gremlins amongst other things, and he had a shop in San Rafael. And he came to work in Montreal we did Scanners together, and we got along like great, had a lot of fun. And then at some point he gave me a call, and mentioned that he was about to do this movie, and would I mind going to work with him? I said sure. So here I was in San Rafael, took off, and it was a movie called Enemy Mine. It was supposed to be taking 6 months. It took practically a year and a half.
Wow.
Well, I fell in love with the Bay Area, and I really enjoyed working over there because I was not by myself. There was a whole bunch of people who liked doing what I did. So I learned a lot and I had a great time. And I said, you know what? I'm going to move to the Bay Area. And I did.
And you've been here ever since.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And are you still friends with some of those people from?
Oh, yeah.
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 And what was the name of that company?
CWI, Chris Wallace Incorporated.
That's right. That was actually on your bio. I didn't really know what that meant, so I didn't even mention it. Okay, that's really great. So that was pre-Lucas, pre-all.
Yeah. Lucas was already there. So, you know, we were in between projects. We would go and work at Lucas and then go back to CWI. Those were the two main companies. You know.
And what kind of things did you do at Lucas?
You know, sculpting, did Fire in the Skies, the face of the aliens and so on, commercials, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The bad guy was shrivels up at the end. They want to see it in one shot. So yeah.
Okay. So who's been, if you have anyone, you may not, who's been the most influential person or people in your life with regards to this career path journey you've had? Who would you say are a couple of the people that maybe were the most influential?
Well, there was Chris, a bunch of people, but mainly, of course, like everybody else, Dick Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, this might be a good time to mention that. You'd recommend, if someone was interested in special effects, you would I use that word lightly. I know that we know the difference, but special effects, character makeup, those kinds of things, you'd recommend that someone that lives in the middle of, I don't know, the Midwest, and they don't have an area to go to like you did to work on. A Dick Smith course is a really good thing to do, right?
It's a great thing. And plus, nowadays, you have lots of books about makeup and instruction. You can Google like courses like on your phone. We didn't have that when I started out.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had was like Famous Monsters of Filmland once a month maybe, and black and white photographs.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah.
So Dick Smith is, what's the name of that course? It's just that they just Google right now Dick Smith special. I don't even think it's called.
No, it's not called special effects. It's just makeup.
Okay, Dick Smith makeup.
Yeah.
And I know of two people that have actually gone through that course and are down in Hollywood now. Yeah. Doing little baby gremlins and baby, I don't know, Walking Dead babies and
guess what? Zombie movies?
Zombies, yeah.
How many zombie movies can you have?
Well, I guess a lot, according to... Yeah, exactly. What do you think the most important quality is to be able to endure? We know patience. To be able to endure the career you've had, what do you think is the most important quality? I mean, besides being interested and loving what you do, right?
Just be creative. That's all. I mean, you know, explore, try things.
Screw up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the only way to learn.
Yeah, that's the best way to learn, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the last project that I did that was really interesting was a filmed opera over on Treasure Island. And it was based on Goodbye, Mr. Chips.
Okay.
And they didn't have any budget to do like live casting or anything like that. So we did, what we did is like Jenny King made like hair pieces. They were brilliant. They were great. And I said, okay, let's do this. Let's do out of the kit, you know, peel and stick like eye bags, so on, and then put in like some stretch stipple for the aging and so on. And it worked out great. Yeah. It was really, really fun. I mean, you got to flex your muscles, your makeup muscles, you know, because you didn't have like fancy prosthetics. So you just like played around with it and I was very happy with the results.
And it's kind of cool because you have all this information, we have all this access to everything, but it's kind of cool to go back to your resources, get resourceful and say, what can I do without a budget to use my craft and to use my experience? Yeah, I think that's really cool. What advice would you give a brand new person that wanted to get into the union? It's not easy to get into the union, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
I don't know. I got inducted into the union while I was doing a movie called Man Without a Face with Mel Gibson.
Okay.
It was a non-union movie at first, and then it got to be like a union movie. Therefore, the producers threw me in, and I became a union member.
And that's called flipping. Yeah. And so basically what that means is you start out with a project, it's non-union, and then the union comes in and they try to organize everyone.
Yeah.
And if they can convince, who do they have to convince? The producers? The director? Who do they have to convince?
Probably the producers.
Producers, yeah, because they're the ones with the money, right? Yeah. So then what happens is if they can convince the producers to go union, then everyone that is working on crew becomes union automatically, which is a really cool thing to have happen. Yeah. Otherwise, it takes, I would say, a minimum of 3 to 5 years to even think about getting into union. Sometimes longer for some people, right? And there's two different union. There's union on the East Coast and union on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the word special effects, because if I had a nickel for every student that said, I'm going to be a special effects artist when I get out of beauty school, I always think it's going to take a lifetime to do that, for one. And two, I'd like you to talk about the differences as an artist and as a makeup artist, the differences when you say character versus special effects versus beauty. Because you do all three.
Right.
But, okay.
You know, there's the corrective makeup, the regular makeup. If your character happens to have an accident, a scar, bruise, whatever, and you, as a makeup artist, you have to know how to do that. And just because somebody has a little scar, fairly often the makeup artist is like, oh no, it's a special effects. No, it's not a special effects. It's makeup. You should know how to do that. You don't have to bring somebody from LA to do a tiny itty bitty little scar above your, you know.
And they call that out of the kit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just so you know. Okay. And that's done with mostly just regular makeup.
Yeah.
Easy to do. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And then you don't really like to be categorized, I think, if I'm correct, as special effects artist. Your title would be more, you are more of a
makeup artist.
A makeup artist, but one of your favorite things to do is character makeup.
Character makeup.
Can you explain what that is to
Well, character makeup, it's like when you change somebody into somebody else. And it can be very, very elaborate, or it can be done with small things like changing the nose, like I did Viggo Mortensen in A Dangerous Mind, changing him into Sigmund Freud. I changed his nose, eyebrows, and so on, added to the beard, and that was a really fun character makeup to do, you know. It doesn't have to be like something like The Fly all the time.
Yeah, like the eyeball falling out. Yeah. So those are really obvious. You like to do the kind of character, the kind of makeup that I've changed them from this to this, but it's so subtle.
And it's working. You're looking at the results like,
Yeah. That gives you great satisfaction.
You didn't have like you covered the entire head with rubber. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you're doing those kind of character makeups, do you have carte blanche as a hired in? You're head of department, you're doing him. Do you then build those prosthetic pieces yourself, or do you?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you build them yourself. Sometimes there's a company that will supply you with the pieces, then you apply them. It's up to you to create the makeup and so on and so forth.
Okay. What do you enjoy? I know you're you're actively retired. That means that if a great project came along, you'd say yes because you love what you do on most days. What did you enjoy the most about working on films? Because films primarily is your thing.
Yeah. Well, when you have like an actor that really is cooperative and really enjoys what you do and
appreciates it.
Yeah, exactly. It makes your life so much easier, you know.
Who's one of the people that you've enjoyed working on the most? I asked Stephan earlier, who's your favorite? And I love his answer. I think I'm going to start saying this. He said, well, favorite is not a word I would use. I would use what do I enjoy more? And so who's the...
Well, I work with Viggo Mortensen quite a bit, and he's always like great to work with, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And he also appreciates and respects your talent. Yeah, I think that's pretty important. I know that you've had protege, I call them proteges, students, mentors, whatever you want to call it. I remember Danny for one, and then the girl with the long hair, I can't remember her name, but she was always following you. Do you like mentoring people, or do you like having a protege that, you know, how someone, maybe you take someone under your wing and you want to, because they genuinely love learning from you? Do you like that?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
What would it take for that person? What qualifications does that person need to have to show you that they're coming from the right place, to be able to want to learn, not just because I want to get into the movie business, because there's the difference.
But keep an open mind and you know, just work hard at it.
Okay. Did you ever want to be a personal? I know that that's also a big thing. A personal is someone that John Travolta asked for a personal, and so that person is just, they're connected at the hip, and every wish and whim is their command. Did you ever want to be a personal?
No.
Okay, why?
No, because I'm a makeup artist, not a servant.
Okay.
And I like to vary my work like in a trailer. So if I'm department head, I don't want to be stuck with one person, you know. Get somebody else to get their cappuccino. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, that is probably the nicest way you've ever answered that question, I just want to say. So I have another question for you, Stephan.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what being a head of department is, and what do you find more enjoyable? Do you like to be a head of department, or do you like to sometimes just go into a job and say, no, I'm just going to work on these 5 people, and this is my job, and I don't have to worry about all the other stuff? Because being department head is a lot of mental management.
It's a lot of like meetings and so on, and so sometimes I like just to be like the key makeup artist. So I am assigned certain characters, and that's usually is like the most comfortable situation. You know, you don't have to deal all the time as a department head with the producers and so on.
The money, the budget.
Yeah.
The hiring.
Yes.
Yeah, all that. Okay. Okay, so I just want to now talk a little bit about, there's a couple movies I want to talk about. RoboCop. You were talking about that before we started our interview, and you were saying you really enjoyed working on that project. Yeah. And can you tell me why?
Well, first of all, it was a very interesting project, you know. With a title like RoboCop, you were wondering, it's like, what is this going to be like, you know? And it turned out to be, it looked great. Rob Bottin designed the suit and like the prosthetic, and then I applied the prosthetic makeup on him, and it turned out to be really, really fun. It looked great, you know.
It's nice to be able, after you do a job, to be able to say that. Yeah. And do you incorporate airbrush into a lot of those prosthetic pieces?
Sometimes. You know, I like to use like when you do like an aging makeup, for instance, to use like those hard bristle brush. You know, kind of like flipping the colors. You know, to like
to create age spots and things.
And, you know, it creates like this spackle, like real skin. You know. I really like to do that. Airbrush, I use it from time to time, but I like the bristle brush technique.
Okay, cool. I remember the one thing, do you remember when we were shooting, I can't remember, it was, I don't know, it was Trauma. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, when you and Danny spent all day making that guy crispy who had been burned completely in a fire. And we finally get out on set, and then they canceled it, or they said what happened?
No. It's like the guy is inside of a trailer. The trailer explodes, a ball of flame, and of course he's burned to a crisp. So we flexed our muscle and we just like made him look completely fried. Yeah. Then we get on the set. The director looks at it. It's like, oh my God, we can't shoot that put that on TV. He puts a blanket over it. I was like,
I know you had worked so hard. You guys worked probably about 8 hours on that, right? Doing the.
oh, that was about like a good 4 hours.
Really?
The two of us.
Okay. Well, and sometimes that's what happens. It's like we're always at the whim of the director. Yeah. It's what we see in the work, what goes into it. Okay. I want to ask you one question about the Monkey King. I thought you had some very interesting, you worked on that, and I don't even know, I never saw the movie, but what was it? And you ended up in China for a long time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what was that all about?
Yeah, that was shot in China. Chinese movie. A lot of characters and a lot of makeup artists worked on that. There was a lot of like fantasy makeup application. Let's put it this way. Yeah, Scott Wheeler, Raul Scott, to name a few. I was doing the main character.
The Monkey King.
The Monkey King. Yeah.
Who's like a Sasquatch or like a Loch Ness?
It's a fantasy character. It's folklore. It's,
okay.
You know.
Okay.
It's kind of like in China, it's like Santa Claus or whatever.
That's funny. That's funny. But my understanding is you were there for longer than you really wanted to be, and it was also very cold. So that's all a part of it, isn't it? Movie business is not as glamorous as
it's not glamorous
at all, is it? Yeah.
No.
So you were bundled up most of the time shooting outdoors.
Yeah, we were shooting outdoors. Beautiful sets, but shooting all night outdoors.
Are the film companies, and because you say beautiful sets, so when we talk about set dressing and building sets, was it more elaborate, more intricate? Was it different there than it is here?
Well, they work non-stop around the clock, and they built like temples and so on and forests, and they're very, very good at it. You know, although I never smelled so much fiberglass in my life. You know?
You're breathing fiberglass, right? Yeah. That's funny. Well, I'm just thinking about when they do the, the Olympics, or when they launch something, it's usually done way over the top and very, very good. That's why I was wondering. So we're going to talk about someone a guest that you brought with you. But before you do that, I think it's really great to know that you've helped all of us understand the difference between when people say special effects, that I always think what your special effects, and actually the difference between special effects, character makeup, beauty makeup, and it's all just makeup.
Yeah, it's all makeup. It's just that some people specialize more into one area or the other, but a makeup artist has to know how to create a character. They're asked to do like a character makeup on an actor. You should know
how to do that.
Basics,
okay.
At least.
Okay.
You just because you have to put like a little scar and so on. You can't just like call somebody in LA to do that job. So no, you should know how to do it.
Okay, that's really great. That's great information.
Yeah.
So The Fly.
Yeah.
You brought your friend with you.
Yes.
Can we bring your friend over? Now, I'm not going to lift it or touch it, but my understanding is that this is the first time that the Oscar has traveled, because you've only taken it one place, and that was where?
Montreal, my parents, yeah, and then the whole family was at home, and the neighbors and so on. So
And the whole small
the
town.
whole small town, you know, local boy makes good. So it turned it turned to be this party. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, as it should have been a party, because The Fly, would it be safe to say, call that, it's like a classic cult movie?
Yeah, it became like kind of like a cult movie. The old version, 1957, I believe, was already kind of like a cult movie. And then when it was remade, it took it like many steps beyond like the whole transformation thing and so on. Yeah.
And that was with
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I just actually rewatched that movie the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask you how old you were, but how far along in your career were you? Midway, 3/4 of the way from where you are now, or midway?
I was probably a couple of quarters into it.
A couple of quarters in. So, is it safe to say that you're treated differently then as a makeup artist once you have this?
No, you're still a slave.
Oh, I love that. It is true, right? You're still in a certain level, right?
Yeah. You should like, okay, it's nice. He's got an Oscar. Now get to work. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I remember we were working on a set with Robin Williams when they won for Good Will Hunting, and we had a little 5-minute celebration. It's like, okay, fine, everybody get back to work. Yeah, that's what it's like. So, were your parents like so proud of you? I'm sure they were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that this is the Oscar. I know everyone from our office really wanted to be here today. Because all of them said the same thing. We've never seen an Oscar. Actually, a couple of them saw Patty. Patty got an Oscar a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So, Stephan, I really, really want to tell you thank you. I have
My pleasure.
worked with you in a lot of different scenarios, and we have some very funny stories and some crazy stories, which we won't go into. But I want to thank you so much for being here, and hopefully you have enjoyed this, and now you know the difference between 3 or 4 different genres of makeup. So until next time, see ya.
Ciao.